Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. It's so good to be back on our virtual events, and this is one of a kind, probably the first of its kind, really, for us at Traveling Beyond the Label. Just for the benefit of those who might probably watch this later, Traveling Beyond the Label is a community for families raising neurodivergent children, and one of our focus this year is really to celebrate our children's strengths because we do believe that neurodivergent individuals are capable of so much more beyond the label. So we have an initiative called Thriving Interest, and we have the first of its series of a webinar. We're going to be talking about storytelling. April is Autism Awareness Month, and we have a lovely speaker here, Nihi. I love her. She's like a sister. I don't know if she has agreed to be my sister, but she's my sister. It's so good to have her here.
Okay, so thank you very much, Sister Eniola, for having me here. It's such a privilege and a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. Because my pastor always says that when someone builds a platform and then they call you there, it has taken them a lot of work to have built that platform. So when you come on there, you must know that you are standing on someone's hard work. And of course, we know how hard you work. So thank you very much for calling me and then letting me be a part of the great work that you're doing at Thriving Beyond the Label. I do not take it for granted and I really appreciate you. And so happy Autism Awareness Month. It's a bright and a beautiful month. And so thank you everyone for being here. Storytelling as a bridge between purpose and prosperity. So let me do a little introduction that my name is Ninola and after this, um, and when people ask about me, I just mention my name. My name is Nilola. I feel like everything about me is summed up inside that name. So that's the executive summary, if I could say. And I don't know if I should say I'm a storyteller because I respect storytellers a lot. So let me hype myself and say, yeah, so I'm a storyteller. It all started when I was 6 months in my mother's womb, all of that, but not necessarily so. But I'll just say that I believe so much in the power of stories. Oh my God. I believe so much in the power of stories. And if somebody says the boy fell, and then someone says, oh, so it was a sunny day. He was getting ready for school and he was so excited to see his parents. And as he ran down the corridor, oh my God, we just heard a last slam. Wow! And the boy fell. I've said I've said the same thing. The boy fell, however, in two different ways. But in the second part, I have used storytelling to amplify the action. And that's the summary of what we're talking about today, to let you see that what you have is not small. The biggest hits worldwide, they are not, they did not jump from the sky. They're nice songs, a good beat, and then they're like everybody just likes it and it just goes viral. Of course, we're going to talk about virality as well, but that's not what we're talking to. Let me just stick to my slide because I can talk a lot. God, I beg. Anyway, storytelling as a bridge between purpose and prosperity. So let's see what are the things we're talking about. First, see the strength. Recognize and nurture your child's unique strength. You have to know it first. And I must salute every mom or every dad that will be watching this, every parent. One of the greatest honors of my life, and I do believe of yours as well, is parenting. It is such a privilege. And of course, these people drive you almost crazy, but you're not going to go crazy, but you're at the edge of the craziness. But I think it's such a privilege that God can trust you with his own people, and then you can nurture, you can care. It is a lifelong privilege, and it's also very demanding. Very demanding, not because you cannot get a nanny to say, oh, take them to school, give them a bath. But what we're talking about is part of the core of your duty as a parent to amplify their gifts, to amplify their strengths, to amplify their voice. And that is what storytelling is going to do. So let's see here, see the strength, recognize and nurture your child's unique strengths, build the pathway, turn your child's interest into real skills and future pathways full of possibility. So one, you see the strength. Two, as you've seen gold in the mine, raw gold. brown, dusty, it's not yet horned, or it's fresh, or is it a tender plant? Let's use a tender plant. And this thing is mango. The way I'm looking at it, if I think it's mango. Now, what do? Turn that little seed, that budding flower, into real skills and build possible future pathways full of possibilities. Then, number three, tell the story. Use the power of storytelling to showcase talent and open doors others cannot see. Emphasis on cannot see, because if everybody had seen it, everybody would be doing it. And don't say everybody is doing it. No, not everybody is doing it, because not everybody can do what you are supposed to be doing. So think about it as an ecosystem, or your whole body. Let's go into far. Let's do your body. There are how many thousand cells in your body? How many organs? If one cell of blood just says, me, I want to be a rascal. I want to get corrupted. I just want to meet somebody, and then let them just put something different in me, just one cell. The whole body is damaged. The entire body. So that's to show you that we are a little part of a whole. But if that little part does not contribute its own, something is missing. And so don't say everybody is doing it. No, not everybody is doing what you are supposed to be doing. So I said I created a framework, and I was looking for an acronym, and it might sound funny because this SIR is from a refinery in, I think, Cote d'Ivoire. So I remember the SIR, and then I was like, okay, what can I build around this? So I said S. What do you think SIR is? Don't say, oh, I'm being male-centered. It's not sir, but it is SIR. So S is storytelling, I is impact, and R is reward. So just think about it. So I don't want to make it too long. S, storytelling, I, impact, and R is reward. And I'm going to break it down shortly. I said the power of authenticity. Your child has a story, and you're the first narrator. In fact, let me say you have a story, and you are the first narrator. Now, your child is a part of your life, even though they have their own lives. But at the moment, because they are not yet 18, they are very much tied to you at the hip. So it is still your life. I don't know if there's no conflict. Your child is an individual. However, they cannot exist at the moment independent of you. In fact, if you let them exist independent of you, in quotes, it's jailed straight. EFCC will come and carry you, or maybe the feds, for the abroad people. I think the feds are coming for you if you let your child exist independent of you at the moment. Nice. I'm ready for the US. And then the second one, I said impact. Impact is, in the next time we discuss what impact is, because you are the one who would define what impact is to you. If someone drives a Rolls Royce, you might define it as success. You might define it as, oh, luxury. You might define it as, oh, this is good. And the person can define it as, oh, this is just what it is, ordinary. So if everybody's hyping that, oh my God, you have the best car, da 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 da, da, the person like, but it's just a Rolls Royce. So that's to say that at the end of the day, because it is your story, you are the one who would decide what impact means to you. And I wrote here, I said, inspire, educate, challenge stereotypes. Every strength, no matter how unusual, can create real impact. Real people, real stories. And I don't want you to overthink this thing, not to be like, oh, I beg me, I'm not cut out for that life. You would see that in everything that you do, there is storytelling inside, in everything that you do. Then I put here reward, opportunities, influence, income, purpose pursued with intention always finds its reward. I've ne it has never failed. That's it. It has never failed. When you pursue purpose with intent, there's a reward. Now, the rewards can differ, but there is always a reward at the end of the chain of impact. There's always a reward. And we're going to talk about that subsequently. Okay, so let's move on. Stanella, thank you. So I put the three pillars of thriving interests, your child's journey from strength to purpose and purpose to prosperity. Now, prosperity, don't think of money first, even though money is inside, but it is not first money. Storytelling, the bridge between who your child is and how the world receives them. Words create worlds. Impact. Impact is not accident. It's what happens when unique strengths meet intentional direction. We talked about that earlier. Reward. Think legacy before cash. Wealth always flows where value is created. Purpose is the siege and reward is the harvest. Okay, so there are some things that are not on my slide now that I want to go through quickly. So I said storytelling is an instrument. Let's think of storytelling as a microphone. So you have a very beautiful voice and you're singing in your bathroom, your typical Rihanna performance or Messi Chinwo performance, Victoria Orenzi performance. Amen. Storytelling is the megaphone that allows people to hear you. You're not doing anything differently. It's just that you're able to reach more people. It's the vehicle that gives that pitch to your voice. And then I said, why storytelling? Let's take it back a little. Let me say in the 90s. So let me, I was born a couple of decades ago. So I would say in the 90s, people told stories. I'll share a story of my grandma. When my grandma passed in 2007, our children were fighting over her diary. So when other people were fighting, like let me say other people come say, my grandma, everybody was like, "Ah, please, oh, where's grandma's diary? Oh, I'm the one taking it. Oh, where's grandma's diary? I'm the one taking it. Oh, because that woman documented everything. If you were not sure of the day that you had your first child, my grandma was sure. In fact, I lost my dad when I was 6 months. 6 months, and then when I was maybe 12 or 13, my grandma handed me the obituary from 10 years ago. She said she had kept it for me. I still have it. So I've kept it for like over 20 years. And then she gave it to me that, when your father died, I said, I have to keep an obituary for you. So she kept it for me, right? So she kept details, she kept things. And then I wrote here, I said, why do people tell stories? At the time, she wasn't telling it to anybody. But if you took that diary, and she had several of them, you will know what has happened in everybody's lives. The day somebody traveled abroad, the day somebody came to fight her, the money that she was given for the month, how she spent it, how she thinks that her neighbor is going crazy. Everything. And it was such a gold mine. It was a source of information. It was a source of inspiration. It was also about freezing time, memories, because when you read them, you're like, this happened, that happened. So I wrote here, I said the traditional ones, letter writing. When you pick up a photo album in a house, those ones that have nylon that you put picture inside, and you can just move from page to page. You can tell history. They don't even need to sit with you to explain. You can see the trajectory of their life. You can see where they were, where they are, and then where they are going to, right? And then I said here, primarily was to document, let's say, keep memories alive, to inform, to teach, to pass on information. There was no revenue in sight, except you're a photographer. And even as a photographer, if you ever needed your picture, somebody else had to snap you. There were no selfies. You couldn't even take a selfie. So think of Razy Technicolor photos. They have to put that Technicolor so that you know that it's colored. It's not black and white, right? And then you were not necessarily in charge of your story. You were not the one in charge of your picture. It was the photographer. And that's where this adage in Yoruba that is how you stand in a picture that you see yourself. There's no ojoro, but now, thanks to filter, you are going to see different shades of yourself that I've never seen before, right? And then sometimes you could get another version of yourself that you did not pay for. Think of the Ovation magazines, the gossip magazines that used to be very juicy, that we wanted to hear what was happening and all of that. Somebody else was in charge, or let me say in modern day, maybe you get on Instablog and all of that. But it was not really in your hands before. I said, but now the power is in your hands. Storytelling as a bridge. And this is where I'll say the crux of the matter is. There are two powerful decisions that can change everything for you. And the first one is decide your story. And when I say decide your story, sometimes people say, everywhere you look on social media, it is fake life. People are smiling, but when they are crying, they will not tell you. They're not going to tell you when they are crying now. That is the essence of them deciding their own story. Deciding your story means that if one part of your ear is missing, for example, you can decide to turn it this side. and then nobody knows that one part is not there. However, when you want to turn it and say, okay, oh, see, there's no here, there's nothing here. It is in your hands to tell us what you want us to see. It's either you want us to see pain or you want us to see triumph. That one is in your hand, and that's the power of storytelling. So somebody shows up with one ear, and the person can show up with pity, like, ah, I lost my ear, oh, the ear went missing, oh. And another person can turn that same ear and then spin it around, and you're like, oh my God, this is strength, this is triumph, this is resilience, this is showing that regardless, nothing is missing, nothing is broken. The person can decide. So when I say decide your story, you are the one that should make us see through your lens. Don't give that to anybody else to do for you. You decide what you want us to see in the story. If you say the monkey jumped, you can show us that a monkey would always jump. That's who they are. It can be because the monkey was in danger and then so the monkey had to jump. It could be that the monkey wanted to show off, I want to show my skills, I want to razzle and dazzle that. But storytelling has given you the power to decide your story. I said you have the power to shape the narrative around your child. Don't let the world write it for you. Choose a story rooted in possibility, in strength, and in hope. You decide. I okay, so thank God it's a closed meeting. We lost someone there. She was a 9-year-old and she passed. And I would say she had quite a number of challenges health-wise. But whenever we saw her, because of how her parents carried her, we never saw frailty or pity. She would stand tall in any room. She was unfazed. She had such a high esteem. She was perfect. And when I was thinking of it, I said our parents did such a good job because it is what you call something that people will help you to call it. If you call something, oh, frail, oh, easy, oh, it can fall down, it can break, oh. But if you call someone powerful, if you call them strength, people would have no choice than to amplify your voice. My mom told me a story. She said, if you are fighting with your husband and then you tell your family, for example, that, this man is a crazy boy. He has done this and that. He said, the thing is that, God forbid, oh, I'm not saying in extreme circumstances, right? He said, after you have forgiven him, and then both of you are back inside the room, laughing and chatting and all of that. He said, those people that you told then that, he's crazy, he's the craziest man that's ever lived, you're not going to forget. Meanwhile, you have already moved on from it. And so that's the power of narratives. So I'm dwelling on this, decide your story, to say that everybody has a story. However, the greater responsibility is what do you want us to learn? What do you want us to see? That power is in your hand. And that's why I like social media so much, even though it has its downs, but that you can tell your story the way you want to tell it. You see that power, don't give it to anybody. Don't give it to society. Don't give it to labels. And I can say, as a parent of a neurodivergent child, people are going to want to name your child for you. But they are not the ones that gave you the child. It is God. And God calls that child beautiful. So don't let anybody come and say, no. And then you and shame can never be friends because God did not give you shame. So you cannot take shame. You cannot say, I'm a ash, God, I bind every spirit of ashamed. What is shame? So you are not going to leave that into the hands of anybody. And then I know I'm going ahead of myself, but let me say that it is also what that child hears you call him or her, that child will grow into. So if you don't consciously shape that story, you are giving the devil, he will enter through people to come and name it for you. And that's not their job. So one of the sacrosanct, or let me say, one of the pillars of your duty as a parent is to name, to call it forth, to call it what you want to see. And that's what you will say. So decide your story. It is your story. You, and when I say, oh, it's a story, it's not like, oh my God, this thing that women will gather and say, oh, sorry. They'll say, oh, feel free. You have to. That's not, it's not that dramatic. I'm saying even in the simplest and in the little details, it is your story. And you will not take shame that is not yours because of your story. And then secondly, I said here, own it. Once you've decided your story, live it boldly, unapologetically. Own your child's uniqueness. I'll even say own your own. Because sometimes if you don't own your own uniqueness, you cannot help your children to own their uniqueness. So let's even start from you. If you don't own your own uniqueness, you cannot pass on what you don't have. So own your own uniqueness, live it boldly, and then you can help your children own their own uniqueness and then live it boldly. Own it, speak about it, share it, celebrate it. Ownership is where transformation begins. And then I wrote here on storytelling. I said, story, now the power is in your hands. You decide what you want the world to know. Stories create emotional connection. That's how you see, oh, this is my internet niece, my internet nephew. They've never met that child. In fact, they've never stayed 1 million, okay, that's too much, 2,000 kilometers away from that child. Yet it's so like, oh my God, she's so cute. I think she's amazing. Oh wow, they are so invested. Oh, she started this. Oh wow, she's doing that. There are good people on social media. There are rascals too, a lot of rascals. But I've seen too many communities that are built on positivity, on good, and not of evil. Let me say that not everybody is going to agree with what you're doing. Not everybody is going to like it. Some people are actually going to say that you are doing too much. Let's be honest. Let's between us. There are times that you have seen somebody and you have said, I think she's doing too much. But because you are wise, you will not type it. But in your mind, you're like, okay, maybe. So I don't really like it like that, Sha. But because you're a smart person, nobody will help him, right? You're not an idiot that say, bang, 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 bang. No, 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 no. So I'm saying that at some point, we have had reservations about other people. So when people also have reservations about what you're doing, it's okay. It's not personal. It's not you. It's just life. C'est la vie, like they will say in French, right? So I said some people are going to say that you are doing too much, and that's all right. Some family members will even, and they like you. When I started creating content, a relative was like, gbogbo eléyìí tó máa ṣe lórí social media tó kàn máa sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, bóyá kò take it easy o. I say, ẹ ṣé ma. Then the person reached out to me 2 years later to say she had a new business that she help her promote it. Ah, Azalma. Anyways, I was happy to do it because people will speak from sometimes their trauma. They will speak from their lens, they will speak from their experience, but it is your duty that you do not let them pull that on you. Now, I'm not talking about, I have people that if I want to misbehave, they will draw my ear that, no, that's not you, because they know me. No, 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 we don't do that. You cannot jump on every trend. It's not for you. I mean, your identity first is that you're a child of God. So if anything does not align in that, it's a no. So in case I forget, I have people that will draw my ear to say, no, we don't do that. So this is accountability. But it's not everybody that you're listening to. So some are going to have reservations. It's not their fault too. They don't hate you. It's not personal. Sometimes it is, but in many cases it's not. It's just that that's how they see it, and it's okay. Over time, they'll become converts, and they might never be, and that's okay. So that's why I said that when you have decided your story, please own it. I heard something very powerful, and it says, "Life favors the bold." Oh. When you're audacious, when you are bold, life favors you. Think of people that are, it's not my place to call anybody's work rubbish, but some people are actually doing rubbish. Alone directing me. Some people are doing things that are like, this does not actually contribute to our growth as a community. This does not push us forward. But guess what? Because they are bold, they are getting the reward. There's somebody that calls himself the sugar mommy of Lagos. And at some point, he was the most researched person in Nigeria. That was people wanted to know, who is this person? Because of boldness. That's not a good example. So let me look for somebody else. But I found out that good people don't have as much audacity as crazy people do. Because sometimes, because you're good, you're reserved, you don't want to step on toes, you don't want to. But when people, stomach, the head is a little bit knocked, they are audacious. So if you don't have audacity, one of my favorite content creators is Okoyemi Famakin. And I might not agree with him on many things, but you cannot deny that he's bold, he's audacious, and he would never allow you put him down. And so because he has grown above bullies, they will keep trying, But you say me and you is the same trouser. If he did not have the liver, he would have gone down since. So if you want to own your story, please, you have to add audacity to it. You have to add boldness to it. And what gives you boldness? It is decision. This is an iPhone 17. There's nothing anybody wants to say. I was the one that went to buy it with my husband. I was the one that paid for, okay, it's not me that paid for it. They paid for it for me. But I was the one that opened the unboxing. I've looked through it. I know this is an iPhone 17. I have to be crazy for me to believe that no, it's iPhone 2. Something has to be wrong. So if anybody keeps shouting, but that's an iPhone 2, I'll be like, see, I'll be like, hey, where is the family of this person? Hey, something's already wrong. Go, yeah, omolomo. Hey, yeah. Not the other way around. I should be like, I be this is iPhone half me. I be is it Abi is it Xiaomi, Abi is Chinko. If I begin to think that way, it means that I have not owned it. It means I don't know what I have. So when I'm persuaded in what I have, you cannot dissuade me from it. You cannot tell me I don't have what I know that I have. Do you understand? And so that's where, if you see people that know what they have, I'll use Bishop David Oyedepo. He has been shouting prosperity. He said even then they'll be going for administration, and then the car will stop. Crazy car. Why is it that is when they are going for administration you want to stop? Why did you not even not start at all? Let them even take taxi. But you want to embarrass them as they are pushing the car. He said he knows he knows that prosperity is certain. So that one you cannot say, sir, are you? No, he knows. So there's nothing that you want to say. There's not. He knows. So when you know what you have, it will fuel your persuasion. So if anybody has otherwise to say, you know, they are the ones that should do a double check. You already know what you're doing and what you're pushing. So we have moved from storytelling. I said, can I ask why? If the purpose of a shoe is unknown, it could become a ladder. I should put Nihinlola 2026. I know why I said it could become a ladder. Think that you have a 6, clock. Think that you have a 6-inch shoe, and then your toddler needs to reach for something. They can climb it now because at least it's to give them some leverage, and then they will reach for whatever they want to do. If the purpose of a shoe is unknown, if the purpose of a thing is unknown, abuse is inevitable. Why defines what impact? So we have left storytelling, it's SIR, now we're in impact. Why defines what impact means to you personally? It is your compass, not someone else's. So the core of my life is Christ, speaking for myself. So because Jesus is at the center of my life, there are things that I know that are not mine to do. No matter how good it is. And I'm not saying that I'm growing in the Lord, I'm learning to walk in his ways. But because I know the Lord and because the center of my life is him, there are some things that even if I mistakenly do, I must bring myself back and say, no, that's not who I am. It does not align with who I am and with whose I am. That is my why. So I said here, why defines what impact means to you personally. It is your compass, not anyone else's. Purpose is not accidental. Leaving it to chance means handing over control of your child's story. Let me even say, handing over control of your own story. And when you know your why, every strength, every quirk, every gift finds its rightful place. For neurodivergent kids, some people are like, just manage them, you know, eh, you know. But what you have is a gift. Because the Bible says the blessing of the Lord makes rich and it does not add any sorrow. And that's why I said that if one ear is here and then somebody shows up without one, can say, wow, this is strength. So if you say that what you have is a gift, I'm telling you that you will begin to see gifts. You begin to see things that nobody else is seeing because of the lens that you are using to look at it. Sometimes it is not that there's nothing good in something, it is that you have to change the lens that you are using to look. Because if you are using the wrong lens, you will not see the right thing. So I would say that when you know why, everything becomes, I'm telling you, everything becomes a gift and it finds a rightful place. And I'm not saying that it's not hard. President General among nations, we salute you. In fact, there are some work that you do that the only person that can reward you is God. Money cannot reward you. In fact, no matter the award ceremony and all the recognition, because nobody can know the depth of work that you do and continue to do like God. But I also found out that the greater the work, the higher the reward. The higher the reward. So I said, when you know why we are doing this thing, so you know where we are going to. So I said here, focus, stay locked in. Keep your why before your eyes every day in every decision. When the road feels uncertain, your purpose is your anchor. Your why is your anchor. Why you act the way you do by Tim Lahai. Consistency over perfection. Consistency builds results, and consistency is a currency. And you know why I say consistency is a currency? Because it adds up, it multiplies. 1 day builds on 2 days, 2 days builds on three. It gets a whole lump sum at the end of everything. So when it comes to sharing your story, I don't want you to think of it as maybe something I don't want to do, maybe something that we're still going to go. I'm just on the basis. So let me pause a little and say, when people tell you to share your story, number one, what you have is unique. What you have is a gift. Also, in the process of storytelling, you find your tribe. You find your own people. You find the people that you need. And then you find the people that need you. So think about it that all of us are traveling and then you tweet like, I'm traveling on this road of Madagascar. Somebody will say, are you sure? I don't think you should take that route too. There's traffic in front. I've passed there before. Another person at the back will say, wow, please, I'm just at kilometer 2. Yeah, it's kilometer 46. My goodness, how did you do it? You're like, oh, he did this XYZ. So you are going to find people, and then you find people that, I'm just on the next street. Oh, please wait, let's travel together. And that's what this community is about. So think about it, they are taking it on a larger scale. Your child has a gift. You have seen that this is the gift. Then you begin to document it. And then you share. There is there's nothing that God cannot do from it. There is no limit to what it can become. And you see that I'm not talking about money as post on social media so you can make money. Because if that's your goal, you'll be very frustrated. Frustration will tie you up. It will tie you scarf, it will wear you a ring like this. So think about it that, okay, this is my son's gift. This is my daughter's gift. I found it, I'm honing it. And then you are deciding to make a story out of it. You are documenting in real life. It becomes a treasure for them. And this is not about monetizing your children. Let me draw a very, because your children are not tools. It is storytelling that is a tool. I'm very much against exploiting young children for financial gain. However, if in the process of storytelling money comes, my dear sister, please send your account number and collect that check. Send it to, but if that Miss, if I let me just, if I push this my children outside, ah, I know how much I'm going to make. The problem is that you are going to fall into a slippery slope. Because I wrote in my notes here, I said, so just a minute. The creation, sometimes people leave the creator and then they are running after the creation. That's what it is when you begin to put money first. That's why you see that people want to do just anything because there is a paycheck to it. And it never satisfies. And the more of it you give out, the more of it demands. So there are no boundaries. You just want to go all in. Oh, I feel cool. There's no limit anymore because it's for the paycheck. But once you see people of purpose, they move different too. They move different. Money, money is not a problem. Oh. Money is not, because money is still coming down. Money is, it will flow typically. But when you're thinking of purpose, that's why I said number one, this is what storytelling is. Number two is why. Why do you want to do it? Does it honor God? Does it dignify your gift? Does it amplify? That is your child, and that is you. Does it dignify? Is it dignifying? Because anything that does not dignify you, you should not be near it. Does it amplify the gift of your child and your own gift? Does it meet the needs of other people? And does it connect you to opportunities that are available? Because it is not wisdom to say that, me, I'm just here, oh, anything. No, there are opportunities outside that is only storytelling that can get you through the door. Because there are things they will not call you to if they don't know that you need it or that is where you deal. Right. So you see, I've not even mentioned money because money is a byproduct of value. Does it meet the needs of you? Do you think there are people who need to see this? Let me also say, does it make you happy? Because you must be happy. Think about it that you're documenting your progress, hitting milestones. Even if it is just three of you, because normally just have maybe you, your husband, and then your sister that really likes you. They are the one that will give you like your first three likes. Or you open like three accounts and then you say, oh, wow, good job. Oh, wow, good job. And it's the same person. But does it make you happy? And does it amplify the gift that your kids have? Does it position them for opportunities? So this is not like, that people have sentimental value to neurodivergent kids. No, that's exploitation. That's not like, let me push it out and then I position. No, that one, your purpose is not like, but they do. So it's like, I have something, put it out. Let people see what you have. And then the right opportunities will find you. It is not wisdom to light a candle and put it under a bushel. You are supposed to put it on the tabletop and then let it give light. So think about it that you are also creating a mindset of no limits for your children, that you are not less than anybody else. You are different. And they are also different in their own ways, but you are unique. This is your gift. And they were not going to hide it because, oh, what will people think? No, we're going to light that candle and then we'll put it on. In fact, let's not even light candle, let's on gen. Or we should just do solar. So that so that the light let it shine well. And then in that, there are opportunities. There are. Now we have already settled why. Because once you know why, it would, that you only drink clean water. Clean. So that means that if you're passing by the stream, you will not remove your cup and drink from there. If you see water in buckets, you will not remove your cup and drink from there because you know that, oh, it's only clean water. And that's there that there will be many opportunities for you to go gaga that you are not going to take because you know your why. And you see that why, especially when it is anchored on the right things, it will preserve you. It will give you longevity because you're not chasing virality. Virality is not longevity. It is not. It will give you stability. It will give you peace of mind. Now you must work hard. You must put yourself out there. But you know you can be working so hard and it is not tampering with your psyche because it is work that you know you are supposed to do because there is labor even in good work. You know that oh, you work hard. No matter if let me say you're a pastor, you are doing the will of God, you are leading people to Christ, you are you will sweat, you will work hard. So even though it is God's work, you're still gonna work hard. But you know that you're working hard in the right direction. Right. Okay, so let me leave here to say stay locked in. Once you start telling your stories, please focus. Like we were picking, we say you go focus like death. You know, go hear what? Eyes on the prize and eyes on the ball. Thank you. So I now let's talk about reward. I wrote here, I said legacy first. Before you think about cash, think about the legacy you're building. Yes, focus like death. You know, yeah, waiting there with the talk. Aye. So before you think about cash, think about the legacy you're building. Think about the gifts that you are giving. Think about people's lives that will be changed. Think of perspectives that would be realigned. Because it's not your duty to try to change people, but you must say your own truth and then let them do the change in themselves. So, what will your child leave behind that money cannot buy? What would you leave behind that money cannot buy? So, think legacy first. Think impact first. Think of being a blessing first. Think of, my videos are usually about humor and lessons. And then one time I'm like, "Ah, God, look at people that are serious, motivational speakers, and then they are speaking and all. God, why is it that my own is always on serious video, on serious video? And then it came to mind that you don't know that people need joy. You don't know that you are meeting a need. So it might not look like what everybody else is doing, but it is what you should be doing. So I wrote here, I said, what flows to value when you create genuine value, when your child creates genuine value through their unique gifts, wealth will flow naturally. Purpose is never wasted. And the seeds of purpose planted today become the tree of reward tomorrow. Stay consistent, stay patient. So now let me drop it down to say that, okay, you have a social media page and then you want to start telling stories about what your kids do, about what you do. You want to start putting yourself out there. It's not a first, why? Why do you want to do it? Okay, now I know why I want to do it. Then you lock in day after day. You might not hit 1,000 followers in 3 days, and you might hit 1 million followers in 6 months. Some people just go viral. Wow. But you see why? Why would, and then God is also good that He will bring your people to you. You will find your people, Shani. And then you will now find that this journey that you're on is not lonely because there are so many of us that it's an ecosystem. All of us, we live together, right? So when you start sharing your stories, you see that there are so many people that are like you. And then that also gives you support. And then also opens your eyes to more opportunities. So before you say, okay, and then you are putting honestly speaking, there is nothing that cannot happen for good when you put yourself out there. There is nothing, there is nothing that can happen for good when you put yourself out there. So think about, okay, you want to document a typical day in my life. Oh, this is the progress that we're making now. This is what we're doing now. With all the joy, some are going to say, I think you should hide it. Oh, I think you should keep it. Oh, the question you're going to ask, why am I doing this? And then sometimes you go back to the drawing board. Okay, is it still consistent with why? Oh, that's fine. Everybody is going to be all right. So think long game. Think of your why. Think of when you wake up every day, "Oh, I want to do this," because people might not see it. Yes. You can create a video and spend 1 hour shooting and you get like 35 likes. And that's even because they like you. But the reward for doing what you should do is that you have done it. That's the first reward. So before people will now begin to see what you have done, is that I've done my own. The fulfillment. And you know, one thing I like about social media is that you are building footprints. So somebody sees you in Abuja or I don't know the UK, but let me use Nigeria. Somebody sees you in Abuja, and then you're like, "Oh wow, you're in Abuja." I said, I've been trekking from Abakaliki, oh." And then they say, "What? From Abakaliki? Let me see." Then they follow that trail back to Abakaliki. And then you now realize that the work that you have been doing from day one was supposed to get to this moment. If you did not start that boring day one, you would never have gotten to Abuja. So if you did not take that, Stanella is like, I'm preaching good.
Let's bring out the offering basket. I mean, I'm just God, offering after. Let me not. Let's
So if you did not start that boring journey that felt like, nobody's even seeing me, there's no way you will arrive in Abuja. But let the fulfillment for you first be, so today I've walked from Abakaliki to Uyu. Let that be the first fulfillment. So before others begin to see, because if your validation is from people seeing you, it's a mess. Yes. I have musicians that will say, I create music because I love music. And I think that's the best place to be. Because guess what? You make a viral hit today. Somebody just listens to it and then bam, 25 million listens on Spotify. And then next 3 weeks, you do another one. And that one is like 25,000 listens. I begin to think that, is something wrong with me? What happened to the first one? The satisfaction for you must be that you are doing what you love to do for the reason why you know you should be doing it. That's the first reason. You see, once that reason is good, oh God, you will not chase public validation because it's that one, it will come, but unfortunately, it's very fickle. It's very, let me give, so because I'm in the entertainment space, only if, I don't know if anybody has collected a comedian of the year back to back in AMVCA. Lai Wasabi has collected it. Funny Bone has collected it. Brashagi has collected it. I don't remember if Tao has collected it. This year, most likely to be Mama Diola that will collect it. Next year, it might be him again. But in the last 5 years, nobody has collected it back to back twice. Sabinos has collected it. And that's because people move. However, all these people that I've mentioned, they are still creating content. Even though the recognition might not be as loud as it was that year. Think about a hit movie, Kunle Afolayan's October 1st. Think about Titanic. Titanic is always going to be in a class of its own. Think about your favorite movies, King Woman, or think about How to Get Away with Murder. I don't think she has made another movie like that. However, it does not diminish from who she is. So I'm saying that you might have viral moments, but if you are chasing virality, oh, you'll be discouraged because it's like a buzz. I've had a time where my page was growing by maybe 5,000 in 2 weeks. And then after a while, the algorithm say that's all. You're not even going to add one. In fact, we'll just remove your. At the point, I was like, I'm tired. This thing, why? I felt so terrible. I was so sad. And then I'm like, okay, there are people here that still like me. I want to see what I do. Why not put it out there? So even no matter how many people see it, I'm glad I've put it out. That's my reward. And then let God do what he will do. Let the internet do what he loves to do. I've done my bit. I've done my bit. I'm happy because I'm doing what I should do. So I think I should pause here if there are any questions before we go on. So how many more slides do I have?
I'm just just bear with me. I mean, I know.
Okay, so yeah.
Let
Oh,
me check.
we're in questions and answers. So let me
We
ask if
have
anybody
questions and
has any
answers.
question, and please.
Oh my God. Oh, I feel so sorry for anybody that, oh my God. Wow. Motivational speaker, preacher, comedian, storyteller, all in all. I'm wowed. Where are all the emotions? I'm just,
Thank you.
I want to believe I'm not the only person feeling like I'm feeling. It's really been good. It's really been good. So yes, please feel free to ask your questions. Unmute yourself, put in the chat, however you're comfortable with. But Ni, you have blown me, and you need to come back. This is part one of 10. We
My
need to
pleasure. My
part one of
pleasure.
10. That why, if we need to even unpack the why first,
Yeah.
and I think that's where my own first question is: why other people are thinking. How do you suggest that people discern their why? How will people know that what they are thinking is their why is not selfish, but that there's true purpose behind it?
I don't want to go from the spiritual angle,
Mm,
but I know that every genuine why always meets a need.
mm,
So it is not just about what do I stand to gain from this.
mm,
Every why must have what am I serving others?
mm,
What am I giving?
mm,
And then, of course, I'm going to get things in return, but
mm,
every purpose cannot be about what you get.
mm,
In fact, purpose must be bigger than you. If it is
mm,
not, it's not just about you. It's not just about, oh, what am I going to eat? What am I? All those things are small. They are very small. They are very small. It is about what can I give? And that's where your life has meaning because your life cannot consist about what you eat, what you drink, about me.
mm,
That's selfishness. But when purpose is bigger, purpose must
mm,
at all times, it must be bigger than you and
mm,
it must be service.
mm,
And service not just in oh, when people create content and you laugh, they are serving you joy, they are
mm,
serving you humor. So I feel like one of the easiest way to see, and I know all of us we want something new. I mean, everybody that says, don't worry, leave it. Oh, it's pro bono.
mm,
It's okay, it's fine. That's all right.
mm,
Why are you doing it? Oh, because I like this person. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. That's all right. But in purpose and service, they're like this.
mm.
And the reason must be greater than you.
Powerful. Absolutely. Sorry, I'm a very I said I was going to be composed today, but you have really blown me. You have blown me. I'm still waiting for other people to send their questions. I'm sure people are still shocked. The questions will come eventually. Please feel free to be unshocked and let's leverage this gem here. I mean, you can tell she's a woman of wisdom. Let's come to our culture. We were Blessing will say we should not call ourselves global minority, that we're global majority. But let's think about the African culture, people from that background. Social media is still a thing that is still, some families are not very open to it, because what I've observed in my little journey, I mean, when did I start trying to do my own little bit of storytelling? I'm still learning, but I'm proud of of my journey. And one of the things people have shared with me is that they really want to, share their story, but they don't feel like they'll get the support from their family, and their families are opposed to it. How would people in such situation navigate? They have a very strong desire that there's something they need to share, there's a story they need to share, but their family, they don't have that family support. How should people navigate those kind of things?
I'm laughing because I would say it's easy to say, oh, as an adult, just do what you want to do.
Mm,
But we must also be sincere that no two voices carry the same weight.
mm,
My first advice is before you become so fixated on it to say this is what I'm doing, block them first.
mm,
Yes. Limit access.
mm,
And then it comes to a time, it's like, for example, God has called you to be a pastor and your parents are opposed to it. Even though you're an adult, but because you like that, you're like, I don't want them to discourage me. You might be going for videos and then be sneaking through the back door.
Mm.
And then someone can be like, oh no, come out through the main door and do
Mm.
whatever you want to do.
Mm.
If you have the mind for that, go ahead and do it.
Mm.
But if you are still like, oh, I'm trying to find my way, I know that
Mm.
things like this can discourage me.
Mm.
My first advice is block them first, not because you don't like them.
Mm.
For the longest time, I blocked my dad from my social media
Mm.
because I like him.
Mm.
He's a good man, but I know that we don't see things alike.
Mm.
Now, I don't know who opened Instagram for him. Now the man is following me on Instagram. And then it's like, I really love what you are doing. In fact, you'll be sending me, I think you should do this. I think you should add that. But initially, because I did not want to feel misunderstood,
Mm.
I blocked him until it became something that nobody could talk me out of.
Mm.
So I'll say the baby step is block them
Mm.
and then tell people that you have people that are like your support system.
Mhm.
Tell them I want to start putting things out there. When I put it, people should better like it.
Mhm.
You people should better tell me, go girl. You people should better hype me. Oh.
Mm.
Have you heard? Give them
Mm.
that task
Mm.
and let them know that you are giving it to them as a task. Because
Mm.
I have friends that I'll say, Shorty, like video me. Oh, and oh, like it's like you don't value our friendship. There are people that are harassed like that. So tell
Mm.
people that their support means a lot to you,
Mm.
that you need their support.
Mm.
That is if they understand what you're trying to do.
Mm.
So before outsiders would now start seeing what you're doing,
Mm.
you already feel supported.
Mm.
Now, some people, their chest is very tight too.
Mm.
They are stubborn. If they say they are doing it, nothing. If their daddy say, you should not have done that. Okay,
Mm.
dad, thanks. Bye. Mom. Some
Mm.
people like, now that daddy's been complaining, I don't know if I want to go. So if you know that you are that brazen, go for it.
Let
But
it be.
if you're not, first block people.
Mm.
I had a social media account and I used to do MCing. And nah, this one I say dicey. It's
Mm.
dicey.
Okay.
I had a social
Code
media
it.
account before I
Code
started.
it.
Yeah. So I had a social media account before I started. And when I wanted to start doing another kind of content, I actually opened another page because I felt like the people that were on that former page, maybe they might not understand this
Mm.
new thing I want to start doing. I don't want anybody to start asking
Mm.
me. Guess what? Now they're following me on this new one.
Mm.
Now, for the husband, if your husband says, don't put my child out there, please don't.
Mm.
That's the first thing I'm going to say because wherever there is strife,
Mm.
there will be every evil work.
Mm.
But God has given you wisdom.
Mm.
You don't have to put their picture out. You don't leave their picture out of it.
Mm.
Right? Don't in fact don't even write about them.
Mm.
That my son, Kato, no, 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 no. Write about your experience
Mm.
as a mom. So Tara Feladuro,
Mm.
she rarely posts the picture of her sons on social media before. Now she does it more because I know they are older.
Mm.
But she will say, is it son one, son two? Or she'll say my number one, my number two. You can start writing. Guess what? On my social media page, if I have 100 posts, maybe I've posted my daughter maybe 10 times. Maybe maybe 10 times. But I don't think it will be up to 10. But I talk about her a lot. Such that when people see me outside, they say, are you not Ayoade's mom? I'm like, this girl is even more popular than me because I talk about her a lot, but I rarely post her picture.
Mm.
So if your husband says, don't put my child out there, that's fine. But you can write about your experience. You can write about them. You don't need to share their picture. It's fine. Over time, he would warm up to it over time, but you must do it in honor
Mm.
and not disregard it because he also has feelings. He has people that are talking to him, and you might be more liberal, it might not be like that, and it's okay. Those are his kids, so you cannot do if you do anything like that, you'll be hurting your marriage,
Mm.
right? So write about. You cannot say you don't write a story. You write a story now, and don't share their picture. If he doesn't want, don't share their faces. You can share their experience. In fact, you can say, hey, there's someone I love, and she just says, oh, my son A, my daughter B, or I think his name is Aman. She later talked about his name later, but I always knew him as A, and I thought it was beautiful.
Mm.
So people can still connect with your story without seeing people that are behind their story. Nadia Buhari, for example, has been on social media and she has never shared the faces of her children. And yet people know her.
Mm,
So you can use an alias. So
mm,
AB said this. I remember when AB did this. You can ask, sir, can we maybe they are doing an activity? Can we snap the activity, not their if it says no to their faces, then it's fine. Of course, as a wife, for you people have superpowers. You can touch one of your powers. You can use a power you have never touched before. But if he
beautiful.
says no, if he still insists, give him time to warm up to it. And
Mm,
then when he sees how beautiful your story is coming, let him read it too. I know, you see. So
beautiful.
what do you think?
Hmm. Beautiful. I think you are hitting the spot. Bear with me. Just a few more questions. I know we said 1 hour. Just we are pushing the boundaries a little bit. I mean,
No,
it's
this
only
is
me that
pleasure.
can try that. I was just thinking. I know you mentioned we should not chase virality, but as human beings, let's not lie. Let's not. I mean, it's not everybody. Like people like me, by the grace of God, I know that the reason I'm doing this is not for virality. It's just a message. But there are some people that might not
Mm,
be matured enough to really own. People want to feel like people are, because people thrive on affirmations, all those kind of things. So how will people stay
yeah.
encouraged when you're putting in so much effort and you're not getting the likes, you're not getting the views, you're not getting all the things that you
Mm.
expect? How will you stay motivated in that kind of situation? What are your tips?
Um, it has happened to me before.
Mm,
So for over a year, my page did not grow by one. In
mm,
fact, I was losing followers.
mm,
And it happened to a lot of creators at the time. And at some point I felt very discouraged as that. But I now said that there are still some people that are always encouraging me here. If I'm not doing it for new followers, let me do it for people that I have.
mm,
Because if you are faithful in little, more will be committed to you. And that was what helped me, even though it still hurts me because I'm like, well, I'm putting in so much work, but I'm not getting the result. But what helped me was those that I had already.
mm,
And then the second thing is there are people that you have, again, that their voices matter.
mm.
I have people that their voices carry weight so much, and they say, like, you're doing such an amazing thing. I really like what you're doing. You see, that one person's voice means so much to me than
So,
100 likes.
mm,
And why I said that don't chase virality is that mm, virality is like a flash in the pan.
mm,
If people that they call one hit wonders,
mm,
they'll sing one song and then bam, you don't hear from them again.
mm,
A lot of times, those people can almost die of depression.
mm,
And here is why. The people that used to follow you before, they will no longer follow you.
mm,
The people that you thought were your friends, I mean, they did not come for you. They came for what you had.
mm,
And the people that you need are the most. Of course, the highest number of people are coming for what you have.
mm,
But the people that will keep you steady are the people that connect to you as a person and not just what you can do for them.
mm,
So virality is going to bring you a lot of people that are coming for what you have.
mm.
But if you don't have a solid structure of who you are
Yeah.
and people that like you for who you are, they will suck you and leave you empty.
Mm.
They will do that's how somebody goes viral, for example, and then the next thing a brand will contact them to say, oh my God, come and talk on this, come and wear our dress, come and wear on this. And then after that, it just goes zap, chop and clean
Chucky
out
was,
the
that's
precious.
it.
Because there's no free lunch even in Freetown.
Mm,
They know that you are the burning bush now. You are the one that everybody's talking about. Come and use that effect to affect my business.
mm,
Let it bring more money for my business. Then I'll give you something in return.
mm,
I have an event. Let me call you. See, people, since everybody is looking at you, my event is going to get more publicity.
mm,
So come. At the time when I had like a lot of people, one of my videos went viral. A lot of people were, my pastor told me, he said, me, this is the time for you to build relationships.
mm,
And I didn't understand it, or I understood this, but I didn't understand it as much as I did afterwards. Because after that, oh my God, I did, oh my God, bam. It is the relationship that you have built at that time that will stand. And that will be your own gain from
Mm,
all that noise.
mm,
So you can be so consistent, be so rooted, and yet not going viral
mm,
in quotes. Like a viral video it can just go crazy. But sometimes it's just the regular you, it's just the everyday you. So you have to fall in love with that version
mm,
of yourself and not chase virality.
mm.
And let people that matter to you know that their support in this phase matters very much to you.
Beautiful,
Let them.
beautiful. Now let's start to bring it close to our children, which is part of the reason we are doing this. Neurodiversity is a very interesting topic to want to showcase, because I think people thrive on my what I've observed from the different content. I find that when people post the parts that are not good, it tends to get a lot of, like, oh, the emotional part, all the things like the dysregulation. People like those kind of energy. But the people that are trying to showcase the positive aspect, you don't get as much. And it always amazes me. So the question I'm asking really is this: if your message is a unique message, or is a message that is not something that trends, how do you build sustainability around it without losing motivation?
I think that's a very heavy question.
Mm,
And I would say that that's the dilemma of most creators.
mm,
If, God forbid, if I wear a bomb shot and then I stay in front of my TV and I twerk for 15 minutes, at least I can eat like 300,000 followers. Just 15 seconds of twerk will give me fame.
mm,
And people also, because I don't know why, but maybe it's a human thing or maybe it's a part of our brain that, for example, 10 people tell you that, oh my God, I really love your skirt. I think it's beautiful. And then one person says, ah, you wore red. Hey, you're not Father Christmas. It is that you wore red, you wore red, you wore red, you wore.
Lord.
Meanwhile, 10 people told you you looked dashing. So I think there's a part of human beings that focuses on the negative part,
Mm,
the part that elicits emotion. And
mm,
if you know how to buy into it, you will make money.
mm.
Ah, you will make money. But the question goes back to your why.
Why?
Is that what you want?
Mm,
And then I told myself sometime I needed to take a break off social media. So I was working. And then I said that, see, I am not anybody's entertainment,
mm,
in quotes. I am a person. I would not become an object of entertainment.
mm,
Because if you make yourself an object of entertainment, that is all that you will ever be.
mm,
Yes. Yes.
mm,
That's all you ever be. So you must know that I'm human.
mm,
It might happen that you just decide that, oh, I want to share what this face looks like. Like there are times where we have the dysregulation, we're trying to do this. Oh, it's fine. But if that's your story,
mm,
people will get tired at some
mm,
point. If you build a castle around it, it will break.
mm,
Because they'll find another more dysregulated child than your own.
mm,
And your own will not really move them again. Because people are insatiable.
mm,
Their needs, their wants are in. So if you don't stay true to yourself, ma, how will you think that Michael Jackson will have sleeping problem?
mm,
Michael Jackson, my hero that year. Why is it that the most successful artists
mm,
that don't know the Lord, they are on drugs, they are on
mm,
every vice that you can think about? Why is it so dark
mm,
for something that is bringing everybody happiness?
mm,
Just to tell you that when people are sucking you for what
mm,
you can give them, and you have to continue to give them, you have to continue to give it becomes a high that
mm,
can never be enough.
mm.
So these people look like they are smiling to the bank, but they are losing their soul.
Mm.
It looks like they are, oh, thank you, Lord. I wrote something here. Thank you so much because this brings me there. I wrote, don't jump on the bandwagon, don't chase money. I said content creation is not something to obsess over because at the end of the day, it's like a slippery slope. You will continue to go. Man, would you it would amaze you that some people might begin to trigger their children
Mm.
so they can get that reaction to
Mm.
post.
Wow. Powerful.
Yes, they will set it up now because they know that that's what will bring money.
Mm.
But where does that leave you? Empty.
Mm.
So you see that people have so much money, so much following, but
Mm.
there's so much darkness.
Mm.
There's no contentment. The Bible
Mm.
says it's the blessing of the Lord that makes rich and adds no
Yes,
sorrow.
Lord.
You if it is not the blessing of the Lord, sorrow will be multiplied.
Mm.
So if you think that, oh, we can manipulate people, give them what they want to eat, eat this one now, and then you begin to use your child as a bait, think
Mm.
about it that that child is going to grow up,
Mm.
have access to social media.
Mm.
So the digital footprint that you have left for that child
Mm.
on an internet that never forgets
Forget.
is that of weakness.
Mm.
That child can commit suicide.
My God. Powerful.
Yeah, because
Mm.
it's that deep. Because the story that you have told the world about me is that I am weak.
Mm.
The story you have told the world about me is that I cannot put myself together.
Mm.
The story that you have told the world about me is it's not of strength. So you have
Mm.
allowed people to see me through you have made people see me through the lens of weakness
Mm.
and emotional dysregulation and dysfunction. Meanwhile, there are too many beautiful things about me just for the paycheck. That child will hate you.
Chai. Chai. Deep.
That child is going to hate you. So the good stories might not sell.
Mm.
But think about it that in 18 years,
Mm.
my child is holding my phone and like, Mom, this was me. I did that. That is more than $1 million that Zuckerberg
Powerful.
could give because that money will finish.
Chai.
But think that you are holding a gem in your hands that can become so much more
My God.
because of the way you have chosen to tell the story.
Mm.
Now, your child can be having an emotional dysregulation, and for some reason, you want to show people that this is another side to it. Not because of pity, but to show that behind strength, there can sometimes be weakness.
Mm.
But what I'm still going to tell you is strength.
Strength.
So that even when your child sees and like, oh, this was me, oh wow, that must have been so tough for you. But now you have now turned your child, man, thank you, Lord. When I was preparing, I thought of a circus. Think of what circus would do.
Mm.
They will get people that are short,
Mm.
somebody that maybe has very large ears,
Mm.
somebody that has maybe big boobs, someone that is different in how a typical or everyday people would look like. And then they put them in a show of shame.
Mm.
And then they are dancing, yay! And then people are laughing and then they are making money.
Mm.
So they feel like, oh, people are laughing because they like us. No, that's not it.
Mm.
You are feeding them something.
Mm.
So it is not that you're not showcasing some like, but some have done it in a way that we had a troupe in Kwara State that I knew to be there. They were dwarfs. They were not tall at all. And they were the lead dancers. At some point, I'm like, "Ah, is this not exploitation?"
Mm.
But they were fantastic dancers. So even if you had watched them before, like, ah, wow, cute, they are performing. But now you cannot deny their strength that they are so skillful. So you don't want to
Beautiful.
turn your children into a circus show
My
because you
God.
want to feed people
Mm.
entertainment. Never. So if that is what you people are selling, you must never sell it though.
Mm.
Because whatever you sow, you will reap. And
Mm.
this damn honestly, this damn internet never forgets.
Mm.
So it is not a circus. You can
Mm.
show that we have days like this where there is emotional meltdown. We have days like this where we're not getting it together. These kind of days exist. So don't think that it's oh, you're a superstar. We also deal with this. That's a part of your story that you can decide to put out, not because you're looking to buy in their pity, but to also show them another side of strength.
Yeah.
But your child is not an object
Mm.
of entertainment.
My God.
Also not an object to elicit. Oh wow, nah, never. because that's not who your child
My
is.
God. My God. We'll be here all day. Let me just I need to go and this is word. Preach it. Preach it. My
Yeah.
God. Preach it. Clock it. In fact, the viral in fact the 2026 things that are going to come from this
It's a lot, Abby.
okay, if a family now wants to, or if there's someone here, a parent now wants to start to showcase their children's skills for the first time, what
Mm.
advice will you give them?
Start small.
Start small.
Start from where you are.
Hmm,
Start with what you have
hmm,
and tell stories that are authentic to you.
hmm,
Chimamanda Adichie
hmm,
could have easily gone the bougie way, but she would tell story of Usuka,
hmm,
of Chinelo. And because she told it very excellently, it was no longer her story, it became our story because we could easily see ourselves in her story.
beautiful.
Your story is a beautiful story when people can see themselves in your story.
Hmm,
They can relate. Relatable content will forever be goated because people want to feel seen. So
hmm,
what your story is doing is that it is making them feel seen. It is validating them.
hmm,
So start small, start with what you have, but let excellent be the trademark.
hmm,
So for example, you have a phone, clean the lens.
hmm,
Before you take a picture, clean it.
hmm,
Don't use the front camera. Possibly get a tripod, hold it like
hmm,
this. Look for where sun is entering,
hmm,
shoot. And if you feel like I'm not really a photography person,
hmm,
right. Take a 15 minutes reel, put a nice caption,
hmm,
put your picture, put a nice music.
hmm,
Ask ChatGPT, ask Claude I want to do this. Give me a prompt, give it a prompt. I'd like to shoot a 15 minutes, 15 minutes, okay, 15 seconds video showcasing my son's strength. Oh, we learned this today. We hit this milestone. Give me the right words. You put in the words you have,
hmm,
and then tell it that write this in a way that is relatable
hmm,
across this kind of demography. It will give you easily. So not everybody has to come and dance. You don't have to do a day in my life. If it is difficult, start with what is convenient for
hmm,
you. Start small, leverage AI,
hmm.
and then start with your community. Start on WhatsApp. Tell them, tell your people. I already posted on Instagram. We better go and like. Go and like that post now. Go and like it. If you don't want
Hmm,
trouble, go and like it. And then don't do it for people.
hmm,
Yes, don't do it for because they can never be satisfied.
hmm,
Never. In fact, if you have 100 people, when they say people can never be like, if you are jumping, some people like, don't jump now. If you are sitting, why are you sitting? It's because there are 100 people.
hmm,
Four people are okay with you jumping. So when you don't jump, they say, why are you not jumping? Then three people are okay with you sitting. So when you are jumping, it's like, sit down now. So it's a mixed audience.
hmm,
So do something that is authentic to you.
hmm.
Do something that makes you happy.
Wow.
Do something that you like first.
Hmm,
Because you're not an entertainment value.
hmm,
When people are just entertainment for people, you will lose it. I'm telling you, because people will take and take and take and take. You see that someone has made music, they say, you're not even giving us any hits in the last 3 years. Now, wow, you have become upcoming. Do you want to kill him? So that's to tell you that it's what people are eating now that they know. So you must do something that is coming from your own heart. And I know it might not be commercially viable, but money, please. Contentment is good though. You will make money. Oh. It might not be from social media. It might be that somebody's like, oh, we can collaborate on this. Okay, can you come and speak to us on this? Or do you know you can do this? But even the contentment that you can tell your story in the way that you want and you own your story, it's a privilege. And that you are creating a digital footprint that your child will see in 60 years,
hmm,
that they can come to and refer to, and then see themselves through your own eyes.
hmm.
I think that's the greatest reward you
Oh
can even
my
get.
God.
This.
Wow.
So you're
Wow.
like, I'm making me
Wow. You are goated. You are coming back. This is part one
laugh.
of I don't know how many. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so
Oh,
much.
God bless
Yeah,
you.
thank you,
Thank you
Dr.
so much. This
Precious.
has been
And
so
God
good. I
great
don't want to
love.
keep you. I think I've squeezed you enough. You are coming back. Part one of 10. Thank you so much.
I'm
Thank you
happy
so
to
much.
say
Please
that.
help me appreciate Ni. I
Oh
mean,
God,
she's
thank
coming
you, thank
back.
you.
Help me appreciate her. Let's
Thank
the
you for
people that did
your
not
own
come.
time.
Ah, my God. I'm sure they will come next time. Thank you. From on
Thank
behalf of
you.
Traveling Beyond the Labor community, thank you for sharing your words of wisdom. And
Thank
we
God.
promise to go and do you proud. We're going to go and start
Please,
telling wonderful
please,
stories. Yes.
thank you.
We are going to go and start telling wonderful stories. You'll be
Please, I
proud of
must.
us.
I must be. In fact, once I see that, I will post it.
You know,
I
yes.
will post it straight up.
Thank you so much,
Thank,
and
thank you so much.
enjoy
Thank
the
you.
rest of your evening. Thank you to everyone who joined us, and see you at the next webinar.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.